What's up guys? So I got this message on my Instagram direct message that I'm going to be taking up today. If you've got a similar question, just feel free to shoot it across on the DM on Instagram. Is there a way that I can measure the amount of calories I'm losing after a particular workout? Because it's easy to have an idea of the amount of calories I'm eating in a day, but it's tough to know how much I'm burning. Hence, I don't know if I'm actually creating a calorie deficit or not. So there's a lot to unpack in that specific question there. I've mainly got 3 points that I'd like to cover. One is how do you calculate how many calories you're burning approximately per workout? The second is trying to figure out if this is the perfect approach where you're trying to eat and then catch up and eat and catch up. And third, how do you really tell that you're in a calorie deficit or not? So the first idea that I'd like to talk about is whether or not it's a good idea to play catch up with your diet. So most people do this, right? Most people try to eat a certain amount of food and over and above that, they'll have a dessert and then try to figure out, oh my God, I've gone over my budget. So how the hell do I compensate? Now I got to go and run. I got to do some exercise. I got to do cardio and burn off those excess calories. That's actually a horrible idea. Why? Because you're always trying to play catch up with your diet, not catch up, catch up. So what I mean by that is you eat extra, you burn extra. You eat extra, then you try to burn extra. The problem with that is every time you go out and do extra cardio, that's extra stress on your body. So you're going to need even more rest and recovery. But there's a finite amount of time that you have. Instead of sleeping 8 hours, you can't now start to sleep 10 hours, can you? And if you can, you should have been doing that in the first place. In fact, if you are going out and doing that extra cardio, you should have been doing that in the first place anyway if you have the time and the energy. So what's a better approach? Well, the approach that I take with my clients is I try to keep them at a specific calorie level. So let's say, for example, a client comes in to consult with me and I tell him or her that you need to eat 2,000 calories roughly. I build out a template obviously for them and trying to figure out that we need to eat 2,000 calories roughly every single day, right? Now, some days they might eat 2,100, some days they might eat 1,900, but the objective here is to keep yourself at that 2,000 calorie level. So every single day, if you're eating 2,000 calories, at least food is sorted out. But if you want to eat a chips, how do you then figure out what to do with that? You try to fit the chips within that 2,000 calorie budget instead of going overboard so that you're not playing catch up with your diet. As for the cardio, well, if you've got a well-formulated plan, you should be knowing how much cardio you need to do after knowing what your calorie budget is. So let's say you're eating 2,000 calories every single day and you're doing 30 minutes of cardio and you're losing weight, you're on the right track. But if you're not losing weight, maybe you try to eat fewer calories or try to increase your cardio. That's the best way to go about it. As for whether or not you're in a calorie deficit, it's very, very simple. So on a week-to-week basis, if you're losing weight, you are in a calorie deficit. If you're maintaining weight, you're not in a calorie deficit, you're eating at maintenance. If you're gaining weight, you're eating in a surplus. And as for whether or not there's a way to calculate how many calories you're burning, well, there is an approximate idea that you can get about how many calories you're burning. So a resource such as MET value, metabolic equivalent of task value, is a pretty good resource. You basically take the MET value, multiply it into your body weight, and you can figure out how many calories you're burning in an hour. Is it accurate? No, it's not. But it's a good reference point and it can get you started on your journey. Eventually, you're going to have to experiment and find out what works and what does not work. So I hope you liked that video, guys. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you've got any specific questions such as this one, please feel free to shoot them across to me or across any of my social media platforms, any of the social media channels where you feel you can communicate with me. Instagram is the best way to talk to me. So just shoot me a DM and I will take up your question in the next video. For now, please hit the subscribe button and I will see you in the next video.